What's going on, YouTubers, gamers and hobbyists? Welcome to this week's episode of On the Bench with Pete. Now, I'm all caught up with these, so I'm only about a week ahead of actually doing them now, so not too far in the future, chronologically speaking. So, today, I'm going to be doing some more work on Magnus, because it's been a while since I've been able to put paint to a model. Been doing DIY and various other things, and loads of real life stuff just got in the way. And literally the last time I did an On the Bench recording, it was the last time I painted. So I want to get some more work done today. So that's what I'm after. So more work on Magnus the Red and my clockwork robot, and who knows what else, any other interesting miniatures or models in general that may crop up. So if you're new to the series, this is the paint along series that you put on in the background whilst you hobby or paint your models, or perhaps you just put it on while you're driving to work or something like that. But either way, I get to hobby, you get to watch me. I ramble on at you about various stuff, and we just talk about life and, you know, general chit chat and what's going on in the world. So grab your brushes, models, paints, or if you're driving, pay attention to the road, and let's get to the bench. Okay everyone, so this is where we are. I'm going to start with this little clockwork guy, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a non-oil wash over it. It's just a very simple model, isn't it? Look, it's all metal basically, and I may decide to blacken these leg bits out or not, but I don't know. I think I'm just going to non-oil wash the whole thing, and then I'll just put a few highlights on later. That's what I'm going to do there. And then I'm going to put some highlights on Magnus, on his armour, on the golds and silvers. So that's what I'm going to do primarily. But first of all, I'll just move Magnus out of the way. It's alright, I've sealed the top of the model so he doesn't get any paint coming off. Before I start, I've had some wonderful days of sunshine lately, wonderful weather, but today is not one of them. It's dark, it's overcast, it's raining, it's a little bit chilly, so I've got the heating on, and yeah, it's just generally So anyway, I'm going to start with this guy. Look for my non-oil, which is here. Let's give it a bit of a shake. I haven't prepared my brushes or anything, so you see the usual mayhem that ensues. I can hear my neighbour pulling the bin up, so hopefully the binmen have been. That's good. I've got a few things to talk about now. I'll just put this on here, right. It's just an all-over wash, so I don't need to be very careful with regard to this one. Just all-over wash, da-dee-da-dee-da. And there we go. I've got a few things to talk about, or that I want to talk about. One thing, I've just come from my wife's work. Someone backed into my wife's car whilst her car was parked at her work, and they've just backed into it. That's craziness, you know. And to make things more unbelievable, there were several spaces empty next to my wife's car. See, she works down a lane, and the parking spaces are kind of off of the lane. So I presume people turn around there. That's what they do. For one, the spaces next to my wife's car were empty, no one there, so why didn't they turn around in those spaces? And two, my wife drives a bright red car. It's bright red, you can't miss it. You'd have to be blind to miss that. Anyway, right, I've done the non-oil there. So yeah, that was a weird thing. I thought, wow, that's just strange, you know. Right, so I've done the wash on that now. Washes do take a while to dry, so let's put my timer on so I don't go over too long on the time, ramble on too much. here, right. So, I'm going to start off with, this is Magnus's, one of the Magnus's swords, one of the swords he has on his belt. So, I'm thinking, it's got a place for a gem on it. We're going to highlight the metal with Stormhost silver and put silver on the places where the gems are going to be. So, that is what I'm going to do. So, using a detail brush. Now I'm not going to thin this down at all. So I'm just popping my glasses on here. Stormhost silver. And I'm just using the side of my brush to create this edge highlight. Yeah, that's the kind of effect I'm after. So I'll do the same on the other side. Oh, that's good. Right, I did something else yesterday as well. Yesterday, well, I did something yesterday, I should have said. My wife and I went to a place called Tavistock. If anybody's familiar with that, great, because I'm about to reveal to you some really cool information. We wanted to go there because you know, we're feeling a bit fed up and just wanted to get out and just walk around somewhere different away from the city. And Tavistock is good for that. It's a little way away from Plymouth, but you know, we wanted to. I mean, in the grand scheme of things, it's not far away, but you know, it's a fair drive for the roads of Plymouth, of England, and we wanted to do that, so we did. Now, Tavistock is very oldie worldy. Almost feel like you're stepping back in time. It's one of those places, and don't worry, it gets better. So we went there. Now we knew they had a lot of charity shops and things like that. So we were looking forward to going in those, and we were looking for certain books, which we managed to find a lot of books we wanted, which was a bonus. And we're going down one of the streets, and happened to see a toy shop. This is cool. Alright, and from the outside it looks like your typical sort of touristy toy shop that would have, you know, like puzzles and toys for youngsters. I'm like, yeah, okay, cool. But as we walked past the door opening, I saw that it had on the shelf immediately inside the inside door, it had model kits. I thought, oh, right, cool. So I said to my wife, I'm just going to have a look in here, you know, just looks kind of interesting. See if they have any paints or anything I could use like that, you know. So I said, yeah, okay. So we go in there. To my shock, it's well hidden, but I see behind a couple of like turning racks a whole rack of Citadel paints, and I'm like, wow, yeah, cool. So I said to my wife, well, be rude not to, wouldn't it? She said, absolutely, you know. She said, hang on, look at this. Behind two more turning racks, which I consequently moved out of the way once I realised, was loads of Warhammer stuff. 40k, Age of Sigmar. And I'm like, are you kidding me? It's the last place I would have expected to see that. Now, the name of this shop, I hear you ask, is called Kaleidoscope Toys. Did I buy anything? Of course I did. I bought some Tau stealth suits. Yes, I bought some towel. Because I wanted to. They had to start collecting towels, but I've already got that. They had some Fire Warriors, box of Fire Warriors, but I thought, well, yes, I mean, I could get them to add to what I got, but I mean, essentially, they're in the start collecting box set, and to begin with, I'd rather get stuff I haven't got. So having them, I'm like, yeah, I'll get these stealth suits instead. So that's what I did. So Kaleidoscope Toys, if you're ever in Tavistock, and from now on, every time I go to town, I'm going to check that shop out. And I'm going to come away with some awesome Warhammer awesomeness. Right, so that's his sword. I'm going to go with the golds now. I'm going to Magnus. This is going to take me ages. Same sort of thing. I have a cup of tea, willow bark. Right. Okay. Bum, 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 bum. Okay. Right. So I'm going to start with the armour up here. Now, this Liberator Gold, I hope, is going to highlight okay. I think it will. Yeah. So there we go. So I discovered another place to get Warhammer stuff, which is really cool. I would have got some paints as well. I didn't have quite enough money, so I just settled on the models. I'm going to do an unboxing at some point because I'm going to unbox the Start Collecting set as well, just to show you what you get in there. I mean, I know you see on the side of the box, but you know, nice to see it actually, the sprues in question and so on. And there we are. Right. That is awesome. Now, taking care not to go in the recesses here with this, because I just don't want to do that. So each layer is a sort of subtle thing. Let's just move him up a bit there. Yeah, that's better. I don't know if I told you, but do you remember that camera? I ordered the spare camera where it didn't turn up and all this. I got my money back as I said I would. pain, but there you go. But I've ordered a new microphone portable recording device instead with it now, so hopefully that's on the way, and hopefully when that arrives that will up my game on my videos. So 10 minutes in already. How time flies. Yeah, hopefully that will up my game on my videos a bit, so the sound quality, I know to me the sound isn't bad on a lot of them anyway, but I mean my voiceover stuff's fine as far as I'm concerned, but yeah, for stuff like this, excuse me, I mean, I don't know, I'll trial it, I don't know if I'll use it. You know, I don't know if I'll use it, but I'll certainly trial it on doing these videos. So oh, these highlights, man. Yeah. I've sealed his hand here where I'm holding it, so I should be good. I know, I should be wearing gloves. But I've used a lot of gloves actually doing the DIY. I've been doing DIY. Been wallpapering and painting. It's been quite fun actually. I said for a laugh, I'll think of it as 1/1 scale terrain, you know, just for a laugh to sort of get me through it, but it is actually quite a bit of fun, especially if you do think of it like that. And yeah. Right. I knew this stage would take me a while, and that's okay, I'm fine with that. I am fine with that. Use this liberated gold to blend in the iron breaker a bit here. On these eagle heads, I don't know if it's eagles or whatever it is, bird heads. Yeah, so just a bit of blending to do there. A little bit of tidy up going on as well, which is quite nice. But anyway, my wife's contacted her insurance company, who've agreed for her to get the work done, the repair done on her car, and waive the excess, being that she wasn't actually driving. It's a real pain. The woman who was driving the other car, she was going to drive off, but luckily my wife saw her and spotted her and sort of collared her. You know, oi. You just hit my car. You should always stop if you do that. You know, it's happened to me. Just stop and say, look, I'm sorry I've done that. Here's my insurance details. Really sorry. Most people will be okay because you have the guts to stop and say that okay, I erred there. Look, I did it years ago. The unfortunate thing for the other guy was I had my Land Rover, big car, and he had a Mini, and I backed into his car. He wasn't in it, and I didn't know whose car it was, so he was outside a shop, so I figured it must be someone in the shop, so I just waited for them to come out and said, look dude, I'm sorry I've done this, here's my details. And he's like, that's okay, thank you for waiting, because it's surprising there are people that just drive off, you know. I said, no worries, I wouldn't want someone to, if someone had done it to me, I would not want them to drive off, you know. I'd be a bit peed off if they did that. Just doing the Liberator Gold here. Awesome. So yeah, but we've got a load of books as well, that a series that my wife's reading at the moment, and I'm wanting to read as well. So we bought a load of those. I mean, a load of them. So we felt like, and some glasses we were after, some sherry glasses, which we found. Like, yay! We found glasses once before in Tavistock for something. So Tavistock is obviously the place, the land of glasses, you know. If you're looking for glasses, that's the place to go. It just furthers the transition by putting this Liberator Gold on here between the Ironbreaker and the Retributor Armour colour. I shall have a sip of my tea in a moment. I've got to do shopping later, but my wife's got an acupuncture appointment, and it's right opposite where she has her acupuncture, so the shop that I'm going to go to anyway. Well, I am this time because of this. I thought instead of going during the day, I will go when we go there. So I like to go with her. I normally just wait in the car while she goes another acupuncture. Of course, I went out to see her today at her work to make sure she was okay. You know, I don't like to think of it, because even though, you know, like she wasn't in the car, it still shakes you up a bit. You know, someone's just hit your car. You know, it's a bit, hey, you know, what's going on, you know. So I did drive out, make sure she was okay, because I can't relax and paint knowing that she's had a bit of a, you know, an upsetting incident going on. I just can't do that. It's not me, not in my nature. Looking good. I know you can't see the highlights here. Right. Need a few more. Luckily I sealed all his head and everything as well. Now, as small of a layer as it is, I'm going to let that dry because I'm going to be doing Stormhost Silver next on it over pretty much the same part. So I'm going to pop Magnus back to one side, have a sip of tea whilst I think about just fixing my hook around. I've got this Hordes model here. Or was it War Machine? I can't remember. So what I'm going to do, some piping on the back, ever so small. Now this lead belcher is going to go for that, and I'll just put a little bit here on my little milk bottle top palette. Pin that down. I'm just using water because the area is so small, and it shouldn't matter too much. Actually, I'm going to do the whole unit that's on the backpack in the lead belcher here. So this is this is a model I haven't touched in years, literally. I should get back into War Machine now. I used to like it. Or Hordes. I preferred Hordes, to be honest. Well, to be fair, I never really gave War Machine a decent chance because I only played a few games of it. But I played Hordes quite a bit. And that's where Hordes is where I've always, in the past, gotten my fantasy fix. So got some amazing models in the Hordes range. Right. Anyway, going back to yesterday and our finds, we had a great day, not just because of what we managed to get, but it was a great day all around. The weather was good. It was better than it was in Plymouth, actually, to be honest. You've got to go out towards the Dartmoor Way to get to it, but you know, the thing about War Machine and Hordes is, apart from, I did see some exceptions, and I'll say that now, but a lot of the players, they're not really into, for some reason, they don't seem to paint their models up much. You know, they'll have like a couple of base coats on and that's it. They're more about, I think it's like because it's a skirmish game, they're more for the thought of well, it's you know, not really that worth doing it that much. But I like to see painted models, don't you? Well, I don't know, it's just the community or what, but yeah. Right, so I've done that. Yeah. Just a little bit on there. And I got this guy as well, which I was planning on using for Call of Cthulhu. That's the one. I did some highlights on his jacket, but They're really subtle, and I think they might be too subtle, but yeah, it's okay. Just looking at his glasses. I'm going to try putting the gemstone paint on him. I'm going to try Spirit Stone Red on his glasses. That's it. Just to see. I'm going to shake this a bit more because it's been a while. Just to see how it comes out. Spirit Stone Red. I've tried it with the gemstone thing before, and it works absolutely beautifully. I love how it comes out. So I am going to try it on these here glasses. Almost like rose tinted glasses. Yeah, well, we'll see how that transpires. I'm going to put some dots on his bow tie. I'm going to use Mephiston Red actually. I'll use the airbrush Mephiston Red because it'll be nice and thin. I wish the airbrush paints came in dropper bottles. It'd be nice, you know. I don't mind the pots, but for airbrushing, I wish they had dropper bottles. Yeah, that's it. That was all I really wanted to do on this guy. I think he might be ready for sealing soon. Right. Got myself a new super glue. I don't want to put that in the drawer whilst I remember. What other interesting models have I got here that I could be working on? I think Rhinox hide for his coat. Yes, I'm going to use Rhinox hide. Now, I've always found Rhinox hide to be thin on the pigment side of things. So when you thin it down, it really goes really thin. That's just a personal observation I've had. So I suspect this will take a couple of coats, but that's okay. So quite a dark brown. So it kind of reminds me of like a circus ringleader. Ringmaster, sorry, not ringleader. Ringmaster, get it right. The Ringmaster. I'm using a regiment brush for this. Hard to think I painted all my Tyranid infantry with one of these bad boys back in the day. I would have something a bit smaller now. But it did make the painting a lot quicker. I'm going to paint his sleeves on the coat as well. So I may have those arm guard things, might leave them black. Trying to get all sides of the inside of his jacket here. But what I am going to leave is his hat. I want that to be black. So I'll leave that as it is for now until I come along. Use of a bad and black on that one. Yeah, that's his coat. No, base coat on his coat. Now, I'll take the rest of this rhinox hide. I'll use it on the leather strapping on this. I can't remember what she's called, to be honest. Yes, it give me leather straps. Well, I'm over halfway with this episode now, so not bad progress really, not bad at all. I think I might be able to come back to Magnus. So I'm going to pop these to one side now. A little bit here and there with models like that, you know, doesn't hurt, does it? Just checking this guy out. I think I might be able to dry brush him when he's thoroughly dry. Yeah, dry brush him with iron breaker or something like of that nature. More tea, Vicar. Oh dear, excuse me. Right, Okay, so what's next on the agenda? As I said, Magnus, so in he comes. So I got my heater on, because like I say, it's been a little bit chilly. I've been looking at the Cool Mini or Not, what's it called? Massive Darkness game? Miniatures game. It's kind of like a dungeon crawler. It looks pretty cool, I have to say, it looks pretty cool. So I'm tempted, I'll be honest, I'm tempted. But it would be like another Zombicide extravaganza, you know. I believe it's got similar-ish mechanics to Zombicide. So it's got that means it'll have an excellent solo mechanic, which is intriguing. The miniatures I have seen for it look pretty cool. You know, it looks different enough from, say, Zombicide Black Plague to maybe you want to have a go at it, but I know they recalled, or they had some card printing mistakes on the first run, so they're divvying them out. So I would wait personally until such time as that's definitely sorted. Alright, so just doing above the horns there, that's cool. Just doing the very sharpest edges here in the Stormhost Silver. The very sharpest edges. So, you know, this could take the rest of the video to do this. Could do. Got to do his faceplate, yeah, as well. Just get to know how to handle this model after a time. Right, so a bit down here. By the way, if my friend who contacted me on my birthday is watching, email me, sir. We need to catch up. Not going to say names, but yes. Email me. If you're ever thinking about coming down to Plymouth, for whatever reason, I'll meet up with you happily. So I know, sorry, it's a bit of an inward message there, but it's a message I had to get out to someone. Right, wow. Oh, that's cool. Space there that needs a bit of wash on. That's cool. That's okay. Sort that out. Right. Okay. Fine highlights. Oh yeah, we like fine highlights. Like doing them. It's the concentration factor. Right. To 41 minutes. That's good. I like Stormhost Silver. It's nice, nice paint. Right. Also going to paint all the areas where I'm going to have gemstones in Stormhost Silver. Look at that look. The shinier silver you use underneath before you put the gemstone effect paints on, the better the effect you get overall. It's true. So you got another one. Another one there. Right, so just the sharpest edges, as I said. I think I'm going to put a gemstone there. Nice lot of detail on Magnus. It's definitely my favourite model so far to date. Definitely, without a shadow of a doubt. Put some edging. And these gold feathers. Yeah. He's a very strong model though, I'll say that. You know, you can hold him by his wings and so on. It's quite durable. is good news. So I've got the delights of food shopping later this evening. Ooh, I can't wait. Actually, yeah, I can wait. I hate food shopping, but it's a necessary evil if you want to eat, isn't it? Wow. Spent several hours in Tavistock yesterday when we went. And now I know about the Games Workshop thing, I'll probably be going more often. Okay. So just the finest edges. I think in the summer I'll go back to get Tavistock in the height of the summer. Good, because I'll have got some more stuff done then. I still haven't had this game that I was supposed to be having with my friend, my other friend, but I'm ready when you are. Like to play Tau, see how they go, but you know, I'd never get them painted in time. Heck, they're not even built yet. But all good things, all good things. My other friend is wanting to play Zombicide as well, so I wanted to set that up at some point. I think I'm just going for a mission out of the book this time round rather than a custom mission. You know, I don't often do them. I just think it'd be good, be cool. Oh, yeah. So yes, yeah. I'll do his blade on his staff yet. Yeah. Oh, I do have some other news, although it's not anything that's going to happen for a long time yet. I'm thinking about doing more retro stuff. I'm not too sure how it would go on my channel here though, but I might do it on my channel here in a limited capacity. I've got my Memory Lane series which would suit that, but if I wanted to do, and I'm talking retro stuff like 80s computers and games and things, thinking of maybe a separate YouTube channel for that, but I don't know. But I would certainly like to cover stuff. I'm talking 80s. Because I'm old school. I'm an old man. Love to do a video on the Sinclair ZX81, which was my first home computer. I don't know, honestly, all honesty, I don't know what format these videos would take. Voiceover to pictures was a bit, yeah, I'd rather have the actual item in question in front of me and talk about that there, you know. Then I gotta say to myself, well, could I actually afford that? I mean, I can get ZX81 quite cheap, whether it's working or not, I don't know. I have to learn a bit about electronics, see if I could recap the circuit boards and so on, and then so I would need some basic skills that I currently don't have. Then I've got a monitor here, I could play games on that. I could even set up a bigger screen to see if I could play games through that, you know. I don't know. I'm not sure how popular it would be. Right, looking for some gemstones. I want gemstones. There's got to be more than those two there, surely, to goodness. Still no silver. Gotta love it. Right. Yeah, ideally, the three computers, well actually the four computers I would like to start with are the Sinclair ZX81, the Sinclair ZX Spectrum, the Commodore VIC-20 and the Commodore 64. I have lots of memories regarding those, you see. Right. here. Love to own physical Sinclair ZX81. Oh man. Working would be even better. There's all manner of ways to put the old tape system into different ways of getting the information on the computer. Now there is on the Commodore 64 anyway. I'm not so sure about the ZX Spectrum, but you know, because of the ports, you got to have the right ports. Now I know there's a modification you can do on the Spectrum to get them to work on like HDMI TVs and so on and so forth. You can make the video output better. I did have a run years ago of retro stuff, and I was going through a bit of a rough patch. In my personal life, a long time ago, that was another world. Not my current situation, I hasten to add, but I found solace in retro computers. Getting it going. And I like that. I used to play an online game at the time called EVE Online. I think it's still going, you know, I think you can still play it as a game. It's quite popular, I believe. But anyways, I was supposed to be playing that to my friends on there, which I did, but at the same time I'd be running eBay searches for retro computers, and I'd be getting more excited about that. So I thought, do you know what, I'm coming off of EVE Online, I'm going into retro computing, because that's what I want to do. Anyway, done with these highlights at this stage of the game, so I'm gonna leave him there. I'm quite pleased with how he's looking at the moment. There's lots of subtle stuff, and his staff's going to take me forever and a day, I know that. But I'm just plodding away, I'm taking my time, and yeah, so there he is. And my clockwork robots, my, can't remember if it's Hordes or War Machine, I'll have to check, and my other interesting miniature. Oh, and him, the glasses on him as well. So that's what I've been working on, those there. Let me know, as always, what you've been working on, and then I can read about it in the comments below. So I am going to end it here. Yeah, so thanks again, like I say, for painting along with me on this episode of On The Bench. It's been amazing. I'm glad I've got those layers out of the way on Magnus. I just get a bit like, of metallics, you know what I mean? It's the same with any layer that takes a long time. Thank you once again, and let me know what you've been working on, or what you're going to work on. I know what a lot of you are working on, and I can picture that in my head, particularly when I'm reading your comments, and I was like, yeah, and let me know how far on you're coming on your projects, and what other thoughts you may have. I encourage you to do these paint-along videos like I do. It's very therapeutic. You guys are like my therapy buddies, and I get things off my chest, and you know, it's really good, and I just chill, I can relax. You want to try it. It does take a bit of getting used to talking and painting, but you do get there. you're going to have periods of silence sometimes. I could go through, edit them all out. I think I have done that in the past. I just change things up a little bit. I try things out and see how it goes. But thank you once again. Remember, all brushes lead to war. Bye for now. Bye bye.